Some things never change.
Who are you?
Yarrow, this is about his death, isn't it? The rampage. Of course, who hasn't? Yarrow was one of us, after all. It is terrible. Simply terrible. You want to hear an old man's opinion, though? I always expected that something like this would happen. Malthus, forgive me for talking about a keeper like that, but it's the truth. Hard to explain, really. Come on, let's find somewhere to sit. It'll be easier to talk that way. Well, Yarrow. That's quite a subject, you know. You were right when you said we were best friends. Our fathers knew each other. For as long as I can remember, Yarrow and I were getting into trouble together. At least, until his mother died. No. Bandits killed her in broad daylight on Penny Road. Today these incidents are common, but not back then. The road was considered safe, very safe. She was on her way to Ark, accompanied by 3 other women, and they were set upon at the pass. None of them survived. Yarrow was shattered. I think the worst part was how his father went downhill after his wife's death. The fishery decayed, and the poor guy filled his days with boozing and sleeping. It changed Yarrow forever. Well, that's a good question. On the one hand, he became a man, despite his tender age. On the other hand, something inside him woke up, so to speak. A desire to make more of his life. Old Mother Jenica noticed it and took him under her wing. He learned how to read and write, and soon he knew all the holy verses by heart. When he didn't have to help his drunken father, he helped in the village as much as he could. Indeed, that's one way to look at it. It wasn't long before he was the jewel of the village, the striving young fisherman destined for great things, even though he was only on the path of a manufacturer. And then the inevitable happened. A keeper of the Order came to Riverville to see the prodigy with his own eyes. And behold, in addition to Yarrow's ingenuity, he also had a slumbering magical talent. The keeper took him away, and a few months later, he started his novitiate. Since then, I've only seen him once or twice, as he rarely visited Riverville. I don't think he ever noticed how much that hurt me. If one of the manufacturers makes it to Sergeant of the Guard, it's reason enough for a bard song. He must have been the first novice in centuries who was not of the sublime path. So yes, it is uncommon. More than that. Oh, it's hard to explain. I believe it was the way he was talking about his grand plans. How he wanted to make the world a better place, to become the greatest keeper since Lorem Waterblade. Underneath all this, there was an anger. An anger mixed with deep grief and disappointment. I don't think he was aware of it, because he drew all his strength from that anger. The strength to do all this, to learn and to work day and night, but it frightened me, like the Blue Death. It slumbers inside the pathless mage who believes he can master magic without the Order's help. At first, it grants power, but then, one day, it bursts out in an unholy wave of destruction, turning him into one of the monsters in the old songs. Anyway, I'm just an old man. What do I know about these matters? Now let me go to sleep. All these memories are making me weary. Yes, of course.
Yesterday, when Syrah and I sat under the old book, she said something I can't get out of my head. The greatest peril in life is forgetting one's own ideals. These letters, the testimonies of my path, shall ensure that I don't. Letter 1, 8171 after Starfall. Yesterday, a keeper came into the village to offer me a novitiate. Apparently, old Mother Ilana set forth the matter after she realized I was magically gifted. Grateful as I am, the matter raises a strange train of thought. Maybe, in some grotesque way, it was good that my mother died that day. Why, you ask? Because it opened my eyes. Before, it was my only wish to make Father proud. Father, a fisherman. Now, I cannot help but feel anger observing the village folk around me. Day in, day out, they follow the same routine. Wake up, work, carouse, and sleep. Is this all they want from life? Don't they too take note of the ills in this world and have the desire to change something? Only Syrah is different. She understands what drives me, and she shares my dream of a better world. I told the keeper that I would come, but only if she is granted an apprenticeship in art. Thank Malthus he agreed. Letter 2, 8186 after Starfall. 15 years have passed since my last letter. Syrah and I now live together in a small house in Ark. It's been 5 years since I undertook the Holy Trial, but despite what I thought, I did not join the military wing of the Order. Instead, I became a Magister. Why? Because the children I teach will shape the future of this world, and because there is enough bloodshed already. 2 weeks ago, the Trinchessa approved Syrah's concept of the food bank. It obliges every wealthy citizen of Ark to pay a handful of pennies to the Order, with which the Order will provide a warm meal for the Undercity dwellers once a week. Their reactions embittered me. The decree does not ask for much, yet they protested as though we threatened to take their homes. I will never understand people like them. As sad as this may sound, I am happy. My life provides me with a feeling of purpose, and I still have Syrah at my side after all these years. It is strange, even though I know you will never read these lines, it almost feels as if through them I can speak to you. Syrah, I love you. Syrah is dead, killed by 2 Undercity dwellers as she helped prepare the food bank. How swiftly these words are written, yet how can I even remotely begin to express this pain, this void? Syrah always said it helps to write, yet it doesn't. I sit here watching the ink dry and the letters form the words of a stranger in my own body. I am a stranger when I wake up in the morning. I am a stranger when the sun sets at dusk. I am a stranger when I lie in bed at night. The path condemns suicide as a crime because we all have a purpose in this world. But what is mine? I look ahead and I see 30 winters of solitude. I look back and I see nothing but a trail of broken dreams. Our food bank caused brawls and murder in the Undercity, and the rich forced the Trinchessa to revoke the decree. So tell me, Malphas, is this my purpose? To fail? My thoughts are chaos and I'm too tired to continue writing.
Walked back on the road.
Well, if it isn't my new friend. Any luck? Well, that's interesting. Good work. That only leaves the mysterious object in the water. I'll have a closer look around here in the meantime. Interesting. I didn't know about his companion's fate, to be honest. Irony of fate, isn't it? Murdered by those you wanted to help. But the Order will definitely be interested in these letters. Well done. That should be all we need then. Splendid. I did, and now I finally know what to make of it. Come, follow me. present a Star People's lock. And I bet my buttocks we'll find another answer behind that door over there. Doesn't surprise me. This kind of lock is usually only found in treasuries or castles. But they can be picked, though that's going to be quite the challenge without the bolts. Normally, yeah. It's quite simple, actually. Every keyhole has a matching bolt that latches into place once you insert it. And once all the keyholes, 5 in our case, are latched, the door the lock protects opens up. If you don't have the matching bolts, however, you should prepare yourself for the most frustrating break-in of your life. That is, if you don't happen to be Jaspar, who knows a little trick. You can use wooden sticks instead of bolts. They'll break a couple of seconds after you put them inside the lock, but if you manage to get all 5 sticks into place before the first one breaks, you can basically trick the mechanism. It's all about speed, in other words. So I'd say you do the running, and I'll wait near the pressure plate. You ready? Splendid. Here are the sticks. All right, go! Brilliant. We're really good at this. Now let's take a look and see what the old Magister didn't want anyone to see, shall we? Oh, a fire elemental. Not a weak one. This Yarrow knew about magic, that's for sure. That leaves us with the question of what exactly this is supposed to be. I suppose that's his companion. Though it's interesting that he was already on the wrong side of the law way before his rampage. Well, burials are considered heathen here in Enderal, and have been forbidden for about 300 years now. Here, corpses are always cremated. The whole thing's called the Last Journey. The deceased is taken to a place he or she considered special during his or her life, immediately after dying. That's the only way the soul can move on to the eternal paths. Sounds very poetic, but I'm pretty sure the only reason the Order introduced the law was to prevent plagues. Plus, they might have noticed that too many lost ones running around on trade routes aren't that much fun for wanderers and traveling merchants. Yeah, but of course that only goes for the little man. The rich and powerful still tend to their family crypts, and there are still plenty of old vaults around from the time before this whole Last Journey thing was begun. And it's good that way. What would life as a treasure hunter be like without the notorious noble looking for family jewels in a century-old grave? Let's take a look around and see if we find anything.
Beloved Sira, this is my last letter. In it, I ask for forgiveness, for it was I who murdered you. No, of course, it wasn't me who held the knife, but it was me who infected you with my fallacy. The fallacy that the world wants to be saved. It doesn't. Yes, Sira. There's still a part of me who refuses to believe these words, even as I write them. But just one look is enough to prove me a fool. We have so much, yet we are never content. We could make peace, yet we choose war. We embrace hatred over love. And no, Sira, there is no hope, no silver lining. No matter how much we try to tell ourselves the opposite, mankind is at its end. It has been since some mad god created it for his amusement. A Quiranian philosopher once said that there comes a time in our lives when we make a choice. A choice to live virtuously, yet in austerity, or ignobly, yet in pleasure. The philosopher called this second choice choosing the void, because this is what lurks behind its pretty face. Do you see it now, Sira? The bitter truth? They all chose the void, all but us. We who dreamed of something bigger. We who were willing to make a sacrifice for the greater good. Just imagine what we could have done if we hadn't been alone. But we were alone from the very beginning. And no, Sira, these words do not come easy. You of all people should know that. I wanted to believe there was hope. I wanted to believe that all one has to do is remain strong. But look where our idealism brought us. Here I am, in front of your dead body, murdered by those you wanted to help. We should have fled to a faraway isle to grow old together. But we didn't. And why? Because I corrupted you with my delusions. I, too, will go, Sira. I don't think there is life after death, and I do not care. But before I make my exit, I will give this world what it deserves. Do you remember? They all chose the void. They shall have it.
What's that? Let me see. Uh-huh. A tragic ending for a tragic personality, I'd say. Well, I think that should suffice. Well, what should I think about it? Yarrow was a self-righteous fool, just like all these do-gooders are. They celebrate themselves as great messiahs as long as everything goes well, but once they fail, it's the bad, bad world that's responsible for it. The wise hermit has a good saying for that. People are only idealists until it starts to hurt. He and his lady should have simply stayed in Riverville. Glad you see it that way. Yeah, we are. Here, I've got 2 teleport scrolls that can take us right back to Riverville. Just meet me in the tavern once you're ready to go. I have some stuff to take care of, so there's no need to hurry. Farewell.
Do you know the aged man of whom no
Now, if it isn't my new pal, how about a sip of wine? Here you go. So, are you ready for our little journey? It seems that Riverville's Myrad's injured, so we'll have to go by foot. Oh, right, you wouldn't know that since you're Naramese. Myrids are giant flying creatures, quite nasty when wild and quite useful when tamed. You can find Myrid towers all over Enderal. And for a small fee, the keepers and their Myrids can take it from point A to B in no... But, as I said, Riverville's Myrid's injured, so we'll have to walk. Splendid. Let's wait until nightfall, though. That way it's less likely we'll run into an ambush in the past. One more thing. Up to now, you've seemed more like the close combat type to me. In battle, I mean. Am I right? I knew it. I'm asking because I was in the market just now stocking up on provisions, and I got myself some new reading material. Here, I think you might find this useful. The Arizalian in My Bed, Sensual Confessions of a Vagabond Lady, Volumes 1 and 2. You know, for the lonely nights. Jokes aside, these are learning books, from arcanists or master fencers, depending on what you read. You know how to fight, but if you want to get better, you have to enjoy reading these once in a while. You're welcome. Then off we go, I'd say. You go on ahead. Just take the route leading north out of Riverville. It'll lead us straight to the mountain pass.
Of the aged man's abode. Sometimes when the moon is bright,
Got a new delivery of ale. Anyone?
Like the bite of a flea. That's all you got.
Hang on a second. Quite the sight, isn't it? It's moments like these that make life so damn worth living. This place was once a trading post, in case you're wondering, but it's been deserted ever since the isolation. Yeah, that's what we call the decree that was made 30 years ago here in Enderal. Simply put, the Order decided to reduce their trade with other countries of the civilized world to a minimum. Not a very economical choice to make, but that was roughly the time when the Lightborn Eradan left Narim. The Order was probably afraid something similar could happen in Enderal. You know, open harbors quicken the exchange of information, which in turn quickens rebellious thinking, and so on. Since the decree, trading in Enderal has been subject to very strict regulations, and only the wealthy can still afford things like Termitralian wine or Kalain spices. Anyway, since then, a lot of once flourishing trading posts have closed down, such as the Three Rivers Watch down at the Sun Coast, or this one. Yeah, if you want to take a look for yourself, feel free. If not, let's push on. We still have a good march ahead of us. Still alive? Good. Let's go. We shouldn't waste any more time.
Hey, you there. Hey, you there. Yes, you. Come over here. Now, I need your help. It's urgent. My brother, Olva, he's up the hill in that camp by the fire. But it's his turn to take watch, and I'm bloody freezing out here. Tell him to come here right now, else I will go back to Ark without him.
What do you want? Get lost. There's nothing for you to see here. Oh, does he now? Then listen up, pal. Since we've come here, that fat bastard has done nothing other than get plastered. Tell him that until he's sober, I won't move a finger whip from this fire.
What, I'm drunk? Because this idiot made me wait out here for hours? If it weren't for him, we would be on our way back to Ark already. Tell him to move his fat ass over here right now.
Oh, did he now? Well then, you tell him that what he wants interests me as much as the colour of his fucking balls.
What? Alright, that's it. Go and kick that bloody moron's ass, give him a knuckle sandwich, smack him in the gob, spank the living shit. Ah, you know what I mean. Oh yes, on my responsibility.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'd love to see that.
Good, that will teach him a lesson. Here, take this for your help. Now get lost, or I need to take a nap.
Blazes, what idiots. Welcome to the Enderalian people, my friend. What? Haven't had enough yet? As you wish.
That's all you've got.
Monsieur? Yes? Yes? Yes?
Huh? Can I help you? Hello.
And here we are. Welcome to Ark. I've got some things to take care of here. So let's meet at the market once you're ready to meet Grandmaster Tealor Orenthiel and his mages in person, alright? By his own son, Nerazil, yeah. But roughly 2.5 years ago, he suddenly appeared back in Enderal, accompanied by a handful of mages who once fought against him in the Great War. Weird, I know, but that's how it was. He did, yeah. It seems that something happened between him and them that made them sort out their issues, you could say. They're allies now, and frankly, nobody quite knows why. You can imagine what kind of uproar that caused among the Holy Order itself. But in the end, Orenthiel got things his way. You can say what you want about him, but he never lost his charisma, that's for sure. You're telling me. But apparently their alliance has something to do with this red madness. I guess we'll see what happens. Oh, sure, I should have thought of that. Pardon me. Alright then. Ark is divided into 5 districts, not counting the harbor. The Foreign Quarter, where we are right now, the Marketplace, the Nobles' Quarters, the South Quarter, and the Temple. If you're looking to gear up, I guess the market would be the place to go. You can find anything there, from food to weapons, armor, and whatever else you need. If it's magical supplies and alchemy you need, however, you best try your luck in the Nobles' Quarters. But prepare yourself for some dismissive looks. Up there's also the bathing house and the theater, in case you have the coin for that. Finally, there's the temple, which is hard to overlook. Normal citizens are not permitted to enter it, and from up there, the Holy Order reigns over this country. But if all goes according to plan, you'll soon see it from the inside. And then there's the Undercity. Yeah, it doesn't, and it isn't. The Undercity's a cluster of caves directly beneath our feet. And down there is where the poor and the sick live, not to mention those that the Order doesn't like to see in their neat, pretty streets in the Upper City. Not a place I'd recommend you visit, at least not unless you're looking for mischievous things. Great. Let's see you later and enjoy your stay.